Hello. Please excuse my voice. I hope I won't lose it totally. I am Viinikkala and this is Mäkilä. We are from the University of Turku. And by now I think you all have guessed which one is the historian and which one of us is the engineer. We are here to present the mixed reality-based 3D model of the Holy Ghost Church in Turku, in Swedish, which we have created. The church itself was destroyed nearly 400 years ago, so we are speaking about reconstructing a very distant past. But I think we should start with a short video. Here you can see the model, but actually you can see only what the camera lets you to see. But the actual model, when it is used with a smartphone or iPad, lets the user the possibility to concentrate on those objects or details he or she considers the most interesting. And the experience to be inside the church is of course most impressive when the model is used on the actual location of the church, where you can see at the same time what's left of the church and how it could have looked when it was there. So this iPad functions as a little window into the past when you look through it. We created this model as a part of our project Futuristic History, which Thomas, I think, tells a little bit more.
Okay. Hello everyone, can you hear me? So the Futuristic History project is about investigating the use of augmented reality technologies in historical museums and sites. And here's the whole form of name of the project. So we are concentrating on user, on mixed reality, and recreating, restoring historical events and places. And the project is funded by TEKES, it is Finnish funding agency for technology and innovation. And the project is kind of a research strategy project. So our goal is to form a roadmap on research topics from the area. So basically what to research after our project. And in addition to the University of Turku, we have VTD Technical Research Center of Finland doing the research part, and of course a bunch of other partners, museums, institutes and so on. Seems the projector is missing the image. Okay, so a few words about mixed reality. How many of you are familiar with the concept of augmented reality? Some of you. So basically, when we are talking about mixed reality, we are talking about combining the actual reality you are perceiving with the computer-generated images. And with the new devices like tablet computers, there are usually cameras that can kind of record or give live feed of the reality, and you can enhance that with computer images. Then there's virtual reality, which is basically a pure computer-generated worlds and environments. We can coarsely divide the augmented reality into two different categories. One is about adding information to the real world, textual information, for example, where are the nearest McDonald's, it seems to be around there. And the other category is to enhance the actual reality with 3D objects and imaginary, like you can build castles that are not going demos. So that's my small introduction to mixed reality.
So here's the picture of how the church might have looked from outside. It's created by our archaeologist, Dr. Kari Uotila. But now to the history of the church. The building of the church began in 1588, but we think it might have been consecrated in 1591 because it was meant to be the church for the Finnish-speaking congregation in the city of Turku when it was planned that the cathedral in the city would have been reserved for the use of the Swedish-speaking congregation. So, but the church was in use only a couple of years because in 1593 it was severely damaged in a fire and then used as a cemetery only. There were some efforts of rebuilding the church in the beginning of the 17th century, but already in 1650s the ruins of the church were pulled down to make way for the new street plan in the city. And it lasted until the archaeological excavations in 1960s and 1980s when the remains of the foundations of the church were unearthed. And then it was decided that some of those remains would have been left visible in the basements of the modern buildings built on the place. And here is what is left of the church. On the right side of the picture you can see original wall, and the rest of the stones here are added later to mark the place where the walls of the choir part of the church have been. So this is now called the Chapel of Holy Ghost. It is on the place of the choir part of the church. And here again, this is the original wall, only thing preserved of the church. So there's not much left of that building. The problems we had within this project were quite similar with any place one is trying to reconstruct a building from medieval or early modern times. I mean, there are no pictures, the archaeological and archival material is scarce, and this was even more difficult for us since it revealed that some of the previous research was based on misinterpretations. So we had to do actually some historical research ourselves, not only to visualize already existing results of research. We were happy to have these professional archaeologists within our cooperative partners. So, to make this model credible and historically accurate, we had to use all the possible information that was available about this church and combine it with the information gained from other churches of the same era. And that's why we could create a reliable model. For example, the furnishing in the church is totally created in this way. The other problems we were dealing with were how to make the cooperation between experts of different fields to function properly, because it seems that we spoke totally different languages, although we all thought that we spoke Finnish. And then how to find the best technological solutions for the model. And here's a picture inside.
Do you want to?
No.
So the model itself, from the technical perspective, as you have seen, there was the outside model of the church created by archaeologists, and then we have the inside model, which you can see in the application and in the movie we saw. And they are actually two different models. We haven't combined these models. Of course, the internal model is based on the outside model. The floor, shape of the walls and shape of the building is based on that model. Yeah, basically done the application with Unity game development platform, if anyone is familiar with that, which allows to publish the application to different devices, tablet computers, mobile phones. You can even do the web application, and then we have these 3D glasses with us, which allows very immersive experience that you actually are in the church, and you can hopefully try it later on during the expo or at some other point. Okay, and we are planning to publish the application next year, because the owner of the current building is eager to kind of give large public a possibility to try it out. But we have presented the application in various occasions, and people have been quite excited about it. Okay, now at this point, you can see that there's only Finnish language available, but at the time of the publication, we also will have other languages, Swedish and English, and the publication is done on the tablet platform. But as mentioned, we can do our own builds on smartphones and for example 3D glasses. So if you have any technological questions about the application and the model, I'm willing to share them after the presentation.
So to conclude with, this model is of course a reconstruction of the past, and as such it's based on interpretations. I mean, we have the distant past somewhere there, unreachable. Then we have the material remains of the past, of which we historians and archaeologists are trying to get some kind of picture of how this church have looked. And then we are trying to pass this picture on to the engineers and artists, who then are trying on their turn to visualize it. So I'm trying not to be too Foucaultistic here, but we are speaking about a representation of a representation of a representation, at least. So it's quite far from something historically, what's the word? Authentic. And now we have created this realistic illusion of a time travel, and now immediately after that we have to ask if it's our duty, our moral duty as the creators of this model, to break the illusion, since it seems that people nowadays, museum visitors, want to know what we actually know. They want to know what's certain and what is not. And this is why we have in this model, for example, 2 optional ceilings, because we do not know if the church have been vaulted or if it had a level ceiling. So we are showing both of them, of which the user can compare them with each other. So I think this is one way of involving the users of these kind of applications into the process of knowing. Thank you.